Hi and welcome. When I first started thinking seriously about investment, I asked myself a really basic question. What does it actually mean to invest? And I realized it's simple. Investing means putting your money into something that makes money for you, even when you are not working. Sounds good, doesn't it? In other words, you buy an asset and just by owning it, it brings you profit. So I started looking around. What kinds of assets are out there and which ones could actually work for me? The biggest one, real estate. You buy a property, rent it out, and get paid every month. Sounds good. But for me, it's too complicated. First of all, you usually need a big loan, a mortgage. And that means debt, stress, and long term commitment. Secondly, real estate is not a liquid asset, which means you can't just sell an apartment tomorrow and get your money back in case you would need it urgently. I wanted something more flexible, something I could access when I needed it. So, real estate was not for me. Next one, bonds. You lend money to government or companies and they pay you interest. Sounds safe, right? But I didn't really understand them. It all seemed a bit abstract and, honestly, kind of boring. Next one, ETFs, exchange traded funds. It's a simple way to invest in a bunch of companies at once. So, low risk, low effort. It works very well with consistency. But again, I wanted to be more involved. I didn't want to buy the whole market. I wanted to choose specific companies and understand why I was investing in them. Next one, gold, old school safety. But physical gold, you need to store it somewhere, and that costs money as well, unless you keep it under the pillow, which is not quite safely, right? On top of that, buy and sell prices are far apart, not very user friendly, I think. Digital gold, maybe, but it still didn't feel like something I could connect with. Pension plans, they grow slowly over time and you don't need to do much. And that's good. But the problem is you usually can't touch the money until you retire. And I want more flexibility. I want options before I'm 65 or more. Next one, the famous crypto. Now, here is the thing. When I was choosing what to start with, when I was starting, I didn't even know crypto existed. And to be honest, even now, I still don't get it. I have no idea how to estimate the real value of a token. It could be if somebody told me that Bitcoin costs $1, fair enough. Somebody told me 1 million, could be. So it feels more like speculation to me, not investing. In an ideal world, you would probably want to own many different assets for your own wealth protection and stability. Real estate, stocks, maybe some gold or bonds, it all plays a role. But I wasn't building a perfect portfolio. I was looking for where to start and what to focus on first. So in the end, I chose stocks because when you buy a stock, you are buying a piece of a company, a real business where a management team trying to make money, grow, solve problems. If they succeed, your stock becomes more valuable. If they share profits, you get dividends. That made sense to me. It's still not perfect because it has risks, but it's something I can understand, learn, and improve at over time. Once I understood that was the direction I wanted to go, the next step was quite simple. I needed to open a brokerage account. That's a special account which is different from your regular bank account, which is used only to buy and hold securities like stocks and ETFs. So I opened a brokerage account at my bank. And that was my starting point. I started looking at the companies, trying to figure out what they do, how they make money, and why their stock is worth something. I didn't invest a lot at first. I was still learning. But it was the beginning of a new mindset and a new plan. In the next video, I'll show how I started building my first portfolio, what I looked for, what I got wrong, and what I've learned along the way. This isn't theory, it's my real experience. I've made my choice, I've taken the first steps, and I'm moving forward. If you are serious about your future, it's time to take action. Let's go! Please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you.